I finished this book a couple of hours ago, so this is all really off the cuff. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk to you about an ARC that I received. This is Call Me Evie, and this is by JP Pomare. This book is set to release March 5th, so if I do everything the way that I'm supposed to do it, that should be tomorrow. This is the story of a 17-year-old girl named Kate who is on the run. She's taken from Australia to New Zealand by a man that they're telling everyone is her Uncle Jim. She's going under the name Evie, and Jim is telling her that she is responsible for something horrible, and that if they go back to Australia, she will surely be arrested and he will never see her again, and he's trying to protect her. Unfortunately, Evie doesn't have any memory of these events that Jim is claiming happened. So she's not convinced that he's saving her from something. She's actually wondering if he's holding her captive, essentially, under a set of circumstances that he's made up. It's told with a dual timeline, before and after. So basically this event that Kate cannot remember, there's one timeline that takes place before that event, and then there's the present timeline taking place after that event. The book is mainly about memory. It's mainly about how, as more science comes out about memory, we're learning that it's very unreliable. Our recollection of events and of people and of time frames is actually really subjective, and this book plays on that a lot. Are things the way that Evie remembers? Are things the way that Jem says? And we're not talking about the event that changes everything for these two people. We're talking about everything about her life. Is her life leading up to that event even really as she remembers it? This book is kind of crazy. I really, really loved the ending of this book a lot. I didn't see these things coming. It was really satisfying as far as how much information you're given. It might not be the outcome that you prefer, which is fine, but I can't stand it if I'm not given enough information to figure out what the outcome is. I was really captivated by the last 100 pages or so of this book when things really started to click into place. The downside is that for the majority of this book, I was like going out of my mind. You start this book and you spend the first half of this book utterly clueless, and you never know who to trust, and you never know who's telling the truth. And on one level, that's a genius book, a genius psychological thriller. On the other hand, it's the kind of thing that makes me crazy, because not a lot happens in the beginning of this book or in the first half or so of this book. So without much happening, you're left to stew in this place of confusion and suspicion and conjecture. It's an uncomfortable read for me. It either has to have some action that distracts me from all of those psychological games that it's playing with me, or I do feel like I'm really being played with on a level that kind of makes me insane. I wasn't the biggest fan of this book for the first half. And then again, it's the kind of book that I feel really, the ending really makes it all worth it. I recommend it. It recommends itself for fans of Luckiest Girl Alive and The Last Time I Lied. I have yet to read those. I have not read those. The Last Time I Lied is by Riley Sager, so that's a pretty new book that I know a lot of people have read. So maybe if you liked that book, then you'll have a better frame of reference maybe for what this book could potentially be about. I do feel like had I been mesmerized by this book, I would have found time to pick it up. Instead, it just kind of lingered there, and I kept feeling like I really need to finish that book. It felt like an obligation. I knew it was an arc. I knew that I wanted to give you guys my thoughts on it. It just, that beginning is hard. The beginning was really, really hard for me to get through. Again, the ending makes it all worth it. It is very satisfying. It has some really great twists. You will wonder who Jim is. You will wonder if Evie is a killer or if she's an innocent victim. You will wonder if the secondary characters are friend or foe. I mean, there's so much mystery throughout this book, and truly no way to know for sure. The only way you're going to know what's going on is if you get to the last few chapters of this book. Otherwise, you're not going to know, and that's really uncomfortable for me. But it makes for a really, I mean, that's the mark of a psychological thriller, right? It definitely plays a lot of mind games with you. This is a debut novel, and this is a really great debut novel. It's such a complex subject to both tackle, and it's a complex plot. It just is, it's impressive for a debut novel. Again, I'm conflicted because the beginning was difficult to get through. The beginning is slow, and yet once you get to the end and you read the end, you feel as though you're rewarded for the time that you put in. Again, the book is Call Me Evie by JP Pomare. It is officially released on March 5th, 2019. I highly recommend it if you're a true psychological thriller fan that maybe doesn't need a ton of action. It's suspenseful, and it will play with your mind for sure, and it will make you believe things and doubt things. I'm probably going with 3.5 stars on this one. I like my thrillers to be a little bit more action-packed. Sometimes action-packed thrillers do not have a great ending. This has a great ending. It's just not action-packed. So, you know, if you've also read Call Me Evie, or if you have any questions about the book that maybe I didn't address in this video, go ahead and leave all those thoughts down in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all very soon.